Hey guys, I usually don't do this, but I've been so impressed by this bad boy that I just had to share. So we had an ice storm just a few weeks ago, the biggest one I've ever seen in my life, and our power was out for 18 full hours, and that's crazy with little kids. Luckily, I had bought this thing ahead of time. It's called the Grid Doctor 3300, and I got it from my Patriot Supply. It's a company I've shopped with a little bit in the past, but this thing is amazing. So like I said, we had the craziest ice storm I've ever seen in my life, and power went out for 18 hours, and it started at 6:30, the power outage. So we got little kids, and as you can imagine, they were just like completely freaked out, and we were able to get this thing going, which I'd never used before. We'd just gotten it. So first thing we did is, it's got some ports up here. We plugged in a couple of lamps. We gathered the kids around. We explained to them what was going on because of the first power outage that they'd ever seen. They're really little. Yeah, we were able to calm them down because of the light that we had from this thing, but it didn't stop there because we kept using it. So once we had light, next thing we did is we got some heat. So I have an old space heater, but the thing like sucks up power. We brought it in, plugged it in. I wasn't sure if it was gonna run or not, but sure enough, turned the thing on and it ran. So we're able, while our other neighbors, our neighbors all around us, were in the dark, freaking out, texting each other, we had light and we had power, and our kids were totally calm. In fact, we plugged this thing into our microwave and we were able to make popcorn. We plugged our television in. We have like multiple appliances going. We had like a little movie night. We turned something that's really scary for the kids into this kind of fun little experience. And it was all because this thing was in our home. Yeah, so my wife will tell you I'm a complete dummy when it comes to anything technical, so I was a little bit worried. In fact, I called ahead of time to make sure that this thing had all the features and that I'd be able to run it, because it's gonna be worthless to us if I can't operate it. And the customer service was super nice, and they assured me that it was super simple, and so I got it in the mail, and sure enough, you plug it into a wall outlet. It also has a solar panel, which we didn't end up using in this case because we already had it charged up. But yeah, it ran, and you just plug stuff in and it works. It's amazing. Also, when you get something like this online, you can never be sure, like if you're dealing with some like random company in China, but I called them to ask them about some of the features to make sure that I had everything we needed and that it wouldn't be too hard for me to use. And I was super happy and surprised actually when a person in the United States picked right up. We had a conversation and they were so helpful. They answered all my questions. They even called back once the thing arrived, which by the way, it arrived in like 2 days. It was amazing. They called me back and just to follow up, you know, to see if we had any questions. I am not used to that kind of treatment, even from companies here in the US, so I was super excited about that. So we've been ordering online forever and ever, and this thing was fast, like honestly faster than Amazon Prime. They said 2 days and it actually got here that quickly. One of the things that they explained to me when I was on the phone with them is that there is a disaster replacement warranty, which means that if the product, and it's totally free, first of all, but if the product is knocked out in any type of natural disaster, like a big flood or earthquake or whatever, which we do have out here, they'll replace it, and totally free, and it lasts for 25 years. Yeah, I was super thrilled about that. We'll definitely be going back to my Patriot Supply to purchase more stuff to get prepped, because you can never be ready enough. So I would recommend, if you want to get prepared for power outages, this is the unit you need. I've been telling my parents, I've been telling all my friends, I'm gonna tell you now, like I have absolutely no complaints. Top to bottom was a great experience.